This is an innovative and unusual dash cam. No, it's not the square one next to the rear view mirror. It is the rear view mirror. This is the Gekogear Orbit D400. And we're going to take a closer look at this front and rear view dash cam on today's episode. Let's start by taking a look at what you get in the box. I usually don't do an unboxing video, but I thought it'd be helpful to go through each of the components. We have the dash cam and display itself. Underneath that, we have a 32GB micro SD card, an adapter, a lens cleaning cloth, one of the straps that holds the dash cam onto your mirror. This is a lighter power adapter and USB-C cable. More straps, there's actually 2 sets of them, and a pry tool to help you tuck in the wiring. And speaking of wiring, here's the rear camera with about 10 to 15 feet of wiring and the user manual. Be sure to read that. On the display, there is a clear protective cover with a Gecko logo on it that you want to peel off before using. And there's also a peel-off cover in front of the dash cam lens that you want to remove before using it. Every car is different, so your install process may be different than mine, but this is how I installed it onto my 2014 Mitsubishi Outlander. I placed the dashcam and display on top of and in front of the rear view mirror, and then I took one set of those straps and wrapped it onto the hooks that are on the top and bottom of the display. Now, depending on the design and shape of your rear view mirror, one set of those straps may work better than the other. I tried the other set and the second set seemed to work better for me, so figure out which works for you. Next, you're going to have to figure out where you want to attach your rear camera. Now, this is designed to be an external camera, so it is weather sealed, but that requires a bit more installation process that I'm willing to handle. So instead, I'm going to attach it onto the window next to the rear camera of another dash cam that I'm testing. For the wiring, I hooked up the lighter power adapter and also tucked in the wiring for the rear camera along the weather stripping in the door frames where it meets the ceiling liner, and that gets your wiring out of the way. And then I wound it through the ceiling liner over to the dash cam. There is a port for the USB-C plug and also your port for your rear camera. All right, we're going to turn on the unit. And you can see that it powers up. It takes a couple of seconds once you start up your power. You hear the chime. And let's take a look at the menus. Now, make sure that you are doing this when you're parked and not driving around. But you just want to tap on your screen. It is a touch screen. You want to turn off your camera so that you can access the gear button here, which is your settings. And that shows you your whole menu here. You can adjust settings like video resolution. You can set the resolution for both the front and rear cameras. Set the video segmentation, which is how long each of the video files runs for, like 1 minute, 2 minute, or 3 minute, etc. You can set up lines for your backup camera. Now that only shows up when you have it hardwired to your rear backup light. So unfortunately that doesn't stay on. And you can flip the view of your mirror, so you can have a mirror view or not to match what the view would be on your rear mirror. And you can also rotate the view of the rear mirror, camera should you mount it upside down or vice versa, depending your point of view. Format your SD card, and you have your other settings including volume. Now you can also set for your default screen whether you're looking at the front or in this case the rear, and there is a button to switch your views. You have your front view, you have your front and rear view. You can also tilt your view. So here's the rear camera. You can see you can look down, almost directly down onto the ground, but it does take a little bit of getting used to. It's a little bit strange and awkward for some folks, and of course your focus is different, because if you're driving, you're looking at things at a very far distance, and you're looking up here, you're looking at something very close. But you can also turn off the display temporarily And as you can see, it is somewhat mirrored, so you can use this as a rear view mirror. It's kind of dark and tinted, kind of like how you can switch your regular rear mirror to a tinted version of it when you're driving at night. So you can see what's behind you just using the reflectivity of the display, and you can turn it back on. So let's drive around for a little bit, and while we're doing that, let me just show you some of the specs of the dash cam. Here we have the front camera, and it is set in 4K. We're driving around San Francisco during the day, and coming up here on the other side of this intersection is an example of why you need a dash cam. This pedestrian just walks right out in the middle of the street against the light. So yeah, if he hit the car, well, at least I would have proof of his negligence. And usually I turn off the microphone, but I've left it on so that you can hear a sample of the cabin conversation that the dash cam can pick up. So I'm going to turn down the music and shut up for a second.
Yeah. Because I did it started with one giant part.
And that embarrassing snippet is the reason why I usually turn off the microphone on my dash cam. Next, let's take a look at how this camera works at night, and that's where most dash cams struggle, even the 4K ones. Now, this is San Francisco, so we get a lot of marine moisture in the air in the evenings. That's why we get a lot of fog, and you're seeing some moisture sticking to the windscreen, and the camera seems to be picking up on that a lot. It's not as noticeable with my naked eye, and also with my naked eye, I can actually see and read the digits on the car in front of me, but this dash cam, like many, just can't see through the glare of my headlights reflecting off of the license plate in front of me, even though that vehicle is stationary and less than a car length away. Contrast that with the daytime footage where we could easily read the license plates of cars that were stopped in front of us. Despite this, the D400 has enough detail that I could make out the color, make, and model of the cars in front of me at night. Now let's take a look at the rear camera, and even though this has a maximum resolution of 1080p, I can still easily make out the license plate of the car behind me. The D400 is designed to be used as a rear backup camera, and it does it quite well, though it does take a little bit of getting used to. And if you have it hardwired to your rear backup lights, it will automatically display a reference grid on screen, but mine is not. Here is the rear camera at night, and like the front camera, a lot of details can get blown out by headlights and street lights. And in low light, it kind of struggles as well. I'm not seeing a lot of detail, and it doesn't help that the camera is mounted inside of the car behind my rear window, which is tinted. Thanks for sticking around till the end of the video, and just as a reminder, don't forget to hit that like button right now, and if you're not already subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell buttons. It's free, so thanks for doing that. Thanks for taking the time to press those buttons before this video ends. And I'd also like to thank Gekogear, and I'm having a hard time saying that with a straight face, but Gekogear for sending out the Orbit D400. Now, despite its name, they put out some pretty cool products. They use Sony sensors, and it's 4K. Now, to be fair, the footage is only kind of average, in my opinion. And especially the night footage, it's still kind of blown out. Not great dynamic range, and you can't really read the license plates, especially vehicles going in the opposite direction, unless they're totally stopped. But that's pretty typical with a lot of dash cams nowadays. If you happen to have a dash cam that is really great and can see at night and read license plates, please let me know, let us know, or if you found this to be pretty typical or average kind of footage, I'd also like to know, so leave a comment. But what makes this particular model stand out isn't necessarily its footage, which I think is kind of mid, but it is the display screen. It is that huge LCD screen that takes over your rear view mirror. Now, Now, a lot of new dash cams nowadays have tiny display screens or no display screens at all. You have to use your phone and sync it up. It's kind of a hassle. This has such a luxuriously large display screen that it's kind of a breath of fresh air. And it is a feature that is really only available in some high-end cars, but this is a relatively inexpensive and very easy way to add that kind of luxury feature to any vehicle. And especially if you have an older vehicle that doesn't have a backup camera, well, this is also an easy way to add that sort of functionality. So if you're interested in this dash cam, you can find more information as well as product links in my full written review at moondogindustries.com, and you can find a link to that article in this video's description. So thanks for using those links, and thanks for taking the time to watch this review. God bless. Moondog out. Hey, I'd like to know what you thought of this video. Leave me a comment or chat with me on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, MeWe, Instagram, or Locals. And if you want to see all of my videos, go to moondogindustries.com.